Hi, today I'm going to talk to you about operations with fractions, decimals, and percents, more specifically, multiplying and dividing fractions. This time you should already have your name, your class and period, and your date up at the top. Our central question is going to be compare and contrast multiplying and dividing fractions. We're solely going to concentrate on multiplying fractions for now. Multiplying fractions comes in 5 easy steps. Our first step is checked for mixed fractions. Our second step, which has an asterisk in front of it, says convert from mixed fractions to improper. So if you do have a mixed fraction, you must convert it from mixed to an improper. Quick side note, you do not have to have, I repeat, you do not have to have common denominators when we are multiplying fractions. Our next step, step 3, we're going to multiply both numerators straight across. Step 4, we're going to multiply both denominators straight across. And our last step, simplify. So now we move on to our first example. Have 1/2 of 2/3. Now if you don't know, I put a little sidebar here for you and it says remember that of means to multiply. So we're going to rewrite it again, this time with the multiplication symbol. So now we have 1/2 times 2/3. We rewrote it and we took out of and we put the multiplication symbol in. Our next step is to multiply straight across since we didn't have any mixed numbers. So we're going to multiply our numerator and our denominator straight across. So we have 1 times 2 over 2 times 3. Then we multiply that out and our product is 2/6. But if we go back to our steps, we are not done yet. We still need to simplify. We then take our 2/6 and simplify that by 2, since 2 can go into 2 and 6. So our final answer is 1/3. Our next example is going to have 5/6 of 3. Now before you freak out, it is a whole number, but we will get to that soon. Again, we're going to rewrite it, 5/6 times 3, and we're going to replace the of with the multiplication symbol. Again, another sidebar. To make a whole number a fraction, you must simply put it over 1, which I demonstrate for you here. Now we get to move on to our steps. We take 5/6 and we multiply that by 3 over 1, which was our whole number. And we multiply straight across, so 5 times 3 over 6 times 1. Our product is 15/6. But again, like our last step says, we always have to simplify. So what we're going to do is we're going to divide. And if you notice, our numerator is our dividend and our denominator is our divisor. So when we do the division, we find that 6 can go in 2 times. And we do have a remainder, but we do need all these numbers. Our 2 is going to be our new whole number. Our remainder 3 is going to be our new numerator. And our denominator 6 is going to stay the same. So now that we know we have all of this, we're going to take our new whole number, a new numerator, and make our new mixed number. In this case is 2 and 3/6. But again, like our last step says, we have to simplify. You cannot leave it 2 and 3/6. So we're going to simplify the 3/6 again by 3, since 3 can go into 3 and 6, which would equal to 2, which would equal to 1/2, and our final answer would equal to 2 and 1/2. Our next example is 3/4 of 4 and 1/5. This is a mixed number and a fraction, but again, it is very straightforward. So we're going to take our fractions and rewrite them without the of sign. Next, we're going to make a fraction improper. And in case you don't remember, I added it here. To make a fraction improper, step 1, we multiply the denominator by our whole number. Step 2 says take the product and add it to the numerator. And finally, take your new number and keep the same denominator. Again, if you didn't follow, it's 4 times 5 plus 1, which gives us 21 over 5. Now we're ready to work with our multiplication problem. So now that we have our improper, we're simply going to do the multiplication. So again, we have 3/4 times 21 over 5, which equals to 3 times 21 over 4 times 5, because we're multiplying straight across, which gives us 63 over 20. Again, this is improper fraction, so now we have to simplify it. We're going to divide. Again, our 63 is our dividend and our 20 is our divisor. Now we can see that 20 goes into 60 3 times with a remainder of 3. Our remainder 3 is going to be our new numerator. Our quotient, is going to be our whole number, and our denominator of 20 is going to stay the same. So it should look similar to this. If you notice, it cannot be simplified. So it cannot be simplified, so we're done here. Now we can move on to our last example. Last example is we have two mixed numbers, 1 7/8 of 2 1/2. 1 7/8 times 2 1/2. Again, step 1, we have to check for improper. Step 2, we have to convert our our fraction to improper. So again, we're going to take our denominator, multiply by our whole number, and then add our numerator. So in this case, 1 7/8 would equal to 15 over 8. 2 1/2 would equal to 5 over 2. Now we're ready to multiply. Again, we're going to multiply straight across, 15 times 5 and over 8 times 2. When we get our product, it's 75 over 16, which again, we have to simplify. We have to make back into a fraction, so we have to divide. So 16 goes into 75 4 times with a remainder of 11. And finally, we have our answer. Our quotient is our whole number. Our remainder is our new numerator, and the denominator stays the same. We cannot simplify, so our answer is 4 11/16. Again, quickly, you must check for improper fractions. If there is a mixed fraction, then you have to change it to an improper. You do not have to have common denominators. Multiply both your numerators and denominators straight across, and finally simplify.